Hey, so this video will start a completely new series, which I will slowly finish over quite a long time. In this series, I will go through my manga list alphabetically according to my anime list. I'll tell you my thoughts, what were my favorite parts, and what I didn't like, and etc. Now, the first manga that I will be covering is Oshi, because in the title there are these parentheses, which somehow makes this series the first one on my list alphabetically. But don't worry, this is the only series that has this. So the next video will have a series that starts with the letter A. I will tell you at the end of the video what that is. Anyways, enough with the introductions, and let's get started talking about Oshi. So let's start off with some basic introductions. Oshi is confirmed to be ending at chapter 166 on November 14th. Aka Akasaka, the author of Love is War, Oshi IB Instant Bullet, Renai Daiko, and a lot of others, who does the story, and Yoko Yari Mengo, artist of Oshi You Are My Dirty Queen, Scum's Wish, and a lot of others. The manga has been running since April 23rd, 2020, with chapters releasing weekly on Wednesdays on the Shonen Jump Plus app. The manga has 2 anime seasons currently released, and a 3rd season is already in production. The manga will end with 17 volumes. The 16th will be released in December 19th, 2024. The English volumes are seriously lagging behind, with only 7 currently released. An interesting fact that you totally didn't know until now. Oshi season 1 opening song became an international sensation with over 1.7 billion streams over all platforms, making it the most popular anime opening of all time, despite it being just over a year old now. Alright, that's enough with introductions, let's get started with the actual story. The Oshi wiki says there's 11 main story arcs that are the Prologue, aka where I is, Show Business, Aqua Ain't the Kid Anymore, Dating Reality Show, season 1 of the anime ends here, 2.5D stage play, this is most of season 2, Private, season 2 ends here, also Aqua's old body is discovered, Mainstay, Ruby becomes a celebrity here, Scandal, Kana is caught being brought home with a director, and the media gets photos, they make articles upon articles about their relationship, forcing Aqua to tell the media something even grimmer, exposing his and Ruby's secret. The movie arc, this arc is the longest in the series, and it was really good. I think to adapt this, the anime will need a 2-core season. The end of the play arc, this was a very short arc, just 4 chapters. And finally, the final arc, which is called Towards the Stars and Dream Arc. I can't say anything about it because I literally stopped reading week to week right as this arc started. So let's talk a bit more in depth, shall we? Starting with the prologue, this is the first 10 chapters. This introduces some of the future main cast, mainly Aqua, Ruby, Ichigo, and Miyako. But I can't go unmentioned. She isn't exactly a main character because she only really appears in the first 10 chapters before dying. Of course, she still stays as the main character's motivation. This arc ends with Ruby responding to the hate comments about Ai's death, and Aqua realizing that her personal info couldn't have been leaked that easily, and there must have been someone with insider information. Also, we meet Kana in this arc, when both her and Aqua were still just kids, and Kana was the prodigy child. Then, actually, for the anime parts, I'll just say everything in one go. Without mentioning what arc it is, I'll just put it in the top left corner to indicate when arcs change. It'll be faster for me not to say, now it's this and this arc every time. So moving on, the anime up to the season 1 end is incredibly fast-paced, especially compared to the manga. 40 chapters in 11 episodes at least is what I'd call really fast-paced. Now, I didn't actually watch the anime, but here are the main things that happened during the first season of the anime. Firstly, we see Aqua and Ruby go to school, or more accurately, actor school, I think it was called. It was a school where actors/celebrities go, so they can still go to school even with their careers already growing. They pretty much have less schoolwork and they can skip school so they can go to work. We also meet Kana in this school again. I started to like her as a character more now during school, but I think so did everyone. Also, during this arc, we see Aqua do his second acting gig, and it was for a live-action adaptation for Sweet Today, where Kana also acts. The only other notable character we meet there is Mel, who is more of a celebrity than an actor, because according to the manga, he's hot, but that's all that there is to him, so far at least. We see that Kana has grown a lot in her capabilities as an actor since she was a child, and Aqua realizes she was holding back her ability to act while filming because everyone else was just that bad at their job. Pretty much, Aqua and Kana are the only ones with skills there, and Mel acknowledges this later in the series. And the adaptation gets bad ratings, but if I remember correctly, Kana and Aqua got a lot of praise for their acting online. Then, Aqua goes for the next acting gig, which was the dating show. We meet Akana and Memcho in this arc, and there's a lot that happens, but I want to highlight 5 things. First is when Akana realizes she doesn't want to be silent and doesn't want to disappoint her manager, so she almost tries to become the villain, and she ends up slapping Yuki, which got her an incredible amount of hate online. which transitions right into the second thing, which is Akane almost killing herself. Unable to bear from the hate online, she decides it's enough and jumps off a bridge, but Aqua barely saves her in the last second. She and Aqua get taken to the police station and all of the cast run over there and of course yell at Akane about what she tried to do is so stupid and they would have never forgiven her or themselves if Aqua didn't manage to save her. The third thing is Aqua talks to the director, and at first the director doesn't let Aqua use the footage right after the slap because it's something about the contract and blah blah blah. Aqua brings up the point that Akane is 17 and he's 35, and what adult wouldn't protect just a child? And with that argument, he gives Aqua what he needs, which transitions into the fourth point of Aqua making the video for dating show's Twitter account to clear up Akane's name, which ends up going viral and clearing her name entirely, and the blame shifts onto the staff for making it seem like Akane is a monster. And the final point is that the dating show ends with Akane and Aqua kissing and going out after that. And even after that dating show, as Aqua puts it, it would be super controversial if they broke up immediately after the show finished airing. So they date for the foreseeable future, but only officially. In reality, they don't even meet much, they just talk through text a lot. Moving on to the final significant arc in the anime's first season, the new Bikomachi's first concert. So both Kana and Memcho join the new Bikomachi, and Kana is both good at dancing and singing, especially compared to Memcho and Ruby, who can dance but neither of them are good at singing. So Kana is chosen as the leader. Ruby at this point is a rapidly growing star, her charm as stated by Kana being the main reason for that, and Memcho is an internet celebrity, so there is no doubt that a lot of her fans going there, but most of them are fans of Memcho. There's a preparation for quite a bit, but the concert finally starts, and at first, it isn't going bad, but not good either. A lot of people are comparing this new Bikomachi with the old, and saying that they don't have that eye figure, that standout person. But as time goes on, more and more people are getting attracted to Ruby's charm, and the crowd starts looking a lot more 50-50 with their glow stick colors. Like 50% are going to Ruby and 50% are going to Memcho. Kana said there isn't a single glow stick for her, and it was apparently very visible, as after the first glow stick for her appeared by Aqua, who was actually holding all of their glow sticks and was doing just this viral dance with the glow sticks. And Kana got a lot of character development and motivation in that one moment. And apparently her face lit up and more people started having glow sticks in her color as well. So that's how season 1 ended. I can tell this video will be long as fuck. Moving on to season 2. I will try to yap less, so here we go. Season 2 adapts only 2 arcs this time. The 2.5D stage play and private arcs. I personally don't remember the 2.5D stage play that well, but I do remember one thing really well, which I actually watched the anime episode for as well, because I just wanted to see how they'd adapt, which was the melt scene. I really liked the manga for this. While I think the actual scene of him doing it in the manga was better, I liked how the aftermath was done for the anime. Like the actual scene for Melt doing his stunt was better, in my opinion. But with the explanation of why he did what he did and how he approached Aqua for advice and how he trained rigorously, tried to understand the character's feelings and emotions, that was insane. The animation was also beautiful. And for the private arc, this arc was more slow paced with no real action, apart from the revelation that Aqua's old body had been discovered, which Ruby was obviously devastated by. Alright, from here on, it's manga only. There are just 5 more arcs to cover, 2 of them will be sort of long and 3 of them will be quite short. So let's get right into it. First is the mainstay arc, where we pretty much see the progress that Aqua and Ruby have made in that little time skip. Ruby has become a full-on Japanese celebrity, and as Miyuko says, the next 10 years of her work will decide the rest of her future. So she has Ruby fully booked at all times, making Ruby have pretty much zero free time, as she is constantly working. While I understand that, I do think it's a bit overkill. But it's not me that has to be a star on TV, so I suppose I can't really say anything. I can only say things as I see them as a bystander. Alright, let's move on to the next arc. Next is the scandal arc. It really stuck in my mind for some reason, but I sorta like this arc. I like how the whole situation unraveled. I could completely see it happening in real life. Like, it was almost uncanny how close to reality it felt. Almost as if someone really had gone through something like that and drew that scene on paper. Kana goes to this meeting where a bunch of directors and others were gathered. She went there with the hopes of being picked up by someone, and she was. And one thing led to another, and Kana was brought back to his apartment. But little did she know that there were tabloids following them. And when Kana was entering, the tabloids took a picture of both of them entering the premise of the building, with the headline later being Kana and the director sleep together, or something like that, I imagine. I don't remember if it was even shown, but that's how I see it. Now, the director did in fact take Kana to his apartment with the goal of sleeping with her, but just as they were about to start, Kana tells him she changed her mind and doesn't want to do it anymore. And surprisingly, he's super chill about it. Like, I was dumbfounded about why he was so quick to change his mind and agreed with Kana. But the tabloids didn't care about that. They got the pictures and were about to make some money. As they started to publish articles. Kana got hate online, of course, but still most of it was going to the director. But Aqua decided that this can't happen and tells the publishing company that he will tell them some more information about Kana. They just have to meet, and as they meet, Aqua manages to get some of his questions before he tells the company that he won't be telling them about Kana, but instead something much darker, and ends up telling him about his and Ruby's biggest secrets, the fact that they are Ai's secret children. Of course, this story goes mega viral, and Ruby is so fucking mad at Aqua because he exposed their mom's biggest secret. They recover later, but only after another big secret is revealed to her. Also, before I move on, Kana did still get the role she was promised, even if they didn't do, let's say, even if they didn't do the dirty, which I think was the movie, if I'm not mistaken. Then, Aqua helps with the entire thing, recruiting, choosing, and a lot of others. Alright, fine, I'll mention it. Aqua's half-brother. I found that aspect to be quite interesting at first, but that's it. I think this was a huge missed opportunity. There was so much potential, but after introducing the concept, it wasn't really expanded upon as much as I would have. So, the next arc is the movie arc, which has become infamous now because of one certain chapter, which I will of course mention. It is also by far the longest arc in the series, with it being over 39 chapters long, which in perspective, the second longest arc is the 2.5D stage play arc, which was just 26 chapters long. Alright, now about the actual arc. The movie they were making is called The 15-Year Lie, which describes Ai's life/biography. The main part we actually see is of course how she met with Hikaru Kamiki, aka their dad, and we also see/learn his backstory, which I think is also not a very good one. He was taken advantage of his whole life, and he could never truly love someone, just like Ai. Apart from the taken advantage aspect, she didn't really have that, and that is something they had in common. But I think Hikaru with time actually did fall in love with Ai, and the person who had first taken advantage of Hikaru also had been taken advantage of before. So it's like a never-ending cycle, which also feels uncanny about how real it is/could be. Like someone who had really experienced that had taken up the pen and drew that chapter, pouring their emotions into drawing it. Alright, as I said, I was going to talk about this chapter, so let's just get it over with. Yes, Aqua and Ruby did kiss. Yes, they are siblings. Yes, there's an explanation for it. Yes, there's context that makes it slightly better. And no, I don't fucking like this chapter. Fuck this chapter. I don't like it one bit. First of all, Aqua was the one to cast the roles. He made the conscious fucking decision to cast himself and Ruby in the roles where they would eventually kiss. What the fuck is wrong with you, Aqua? I understand it was the best for the film, but man, it's fucking weird as fuck. Now, there are two more chapters I want to highlight. One of them is the chapter where Ruby finally learned who Aqua was in his past life. The chapter was actually really good, but literally the next chapter again was weird. She reminded Aqua that he promised in her past life that he would marry her when she turned 16, and now she was 16. But they're siblings! What the fuck? And the other chapter I want to mention is where Miyuki and Ichigo finally meet. I found that chapter to be just a great chapter overall that struck a chord in my heart. How Miyuki explains her struggles over the years and how she never gave up on her dreams. Then, Aqua somehow manages to get the child actor, which is the goddess that somehow granted Aqua and Ruby their second lives, which I found to be so fucking badass. But what she said was true. Aqua was falling apart, but that I suppose is for later chapters. Even with the insane difficult schedule that Ruby had before, basically working 24 hours a day, 7 days per week, that pretty much caused her almost breakdown. Now that she knew the doctor was next to her, she felt as though she could do anything, and she became much happier overall. And after months of filming, they finally finished the film, and Ruby's schedule was a lot freer again. And I want to mention about her schedule again. Even though what Miyuki said was true, about the next 10 years will determine her whole future, she was still working way too damn hard, man. Like, she literally had zero free time, pretty much. And Miyuki literally accepted every request Ruby had, making her into a star, of course, but still her personal life was suffering. Moving on to the next arc, the end of the play arc. In this arc, it's like the name suggests, the filming finally ends, they have a little slice of life trip. Of course, that's not all that happens, but I like to remember it on a good note. Like how Akane suggests for Kana to tell Aqua her feelings, Kana refuses, and Akane responds jokingly that she will take that spot if she does. I should have probably mentioned before that Akane and Aqua broke up a long time ago at this point, but I don't remember exactly when, so I just won't bring it up. And finally, the final arc, Towards the Stars and Dream arc. Now, I stopped reading week to week just as this arc started. I read the first 2 chapters, and in total, I think this arc will have 18 chapters, with 14 chapters released right now at the time of writing this script. So I can't say much about what happens, but I do know that Aqua interviews his dad after the film's release, which I honestly did not expect for them to meet so suddenly. But then again, who did, right? Alright, with that arc finally being over, I can finally... Hey, what are your top 3 favorite arcs? It seems I have to tell you my top 3 favorite arcs. Now let's see. My third favorite arc is probably the movie arc, with a close contender being the Scandal arc. My second favorite arc is probably the 2.5D stage play arc, and the first is the dating reality show arc. That arc had so many great moments that I just can't put it any lower. And that's it. I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Please be sure to tell me down in the comments below your thoughts on Oshi no Ko. Is it good, overhyped, or something else? Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe, as I post every single Monday without exceptions, and I've been doing this for 3 months and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.